the dust. I'm sorry.
Another one bites dust.
I thought we finished music time.
Another one gone. Oh, she's back.
Oh, well,
Another one bites dust.
I
I gotta go look into my clan and see if anybody has a hammer stance they can.
Hey.
Oh wait, what kind of hammer stance do you need?
I need any and all. I don't have any. I haven't gotten a single one.
I think I have, but I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've opened it, and if I open it now, my computer's gonna be like, choke, dies. Not really.
I'll just wait and see if anyone in my clan has one. I still need a stance for the sword.
Are you part of a
as
large
well.
clan or a small clan of just your friends?
I am part of a large clan that one of my friends joined and then invited me to. Elite Academy.
Ooh.
I don't think we've done any. I don't think we've done any of the dark sector stuff though.
Dark sector is really good for XP now. I don't know how it is now, but I mean, before it's been good for XP. You just do one round though, because if you try and do it for a couple rounds, you're only gonna get 20k XP. Or 2000 XP, I forget what it is. It's just not enough. So
I haven't used Oberon in so long. I gotta get used to the slow swing speed with it.
Necros Prime. My boyfriend tells me there's Necros Prime, and I'm like, I'm gonna go cry in a corner because I'm at work and I can't go farm him. Sad face.
Necros Prime has like these weird flag things coming off his back.
I still don't have Setting Prime.
Yeah.
I have her mostly built though. Though my boyfriend was raging at me because. How the fuck did you get all the pieces on your first try? Shrugs. I don't know.
That was basically my friend's reaction when I was doing the arc wing at the beginning. He's like, it took me like 15 tries, and I just like bam, 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 done. And he's like,
well, the thing was, when
"What?"
Arcwing first came out, it was a lot different than it is now. Like, not too different, but it wasn't so simple, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It went through a lot of changes because a lot of people were complaining about it. So
it went through another one. Have you seen the latest update to it?
Like, no.
With a 360-degree camera rotation that you have no control over.
I'm not sure if the 360 thing is normal or not. I think I've already had that, but I'm not sure. I just know that my senses are high for everything in Warframe because I like the fast reaction time.
Yeah, it's driving me a little bit crazy because it's like spins, and I was playing Arcwing before they updated it, so I'm used to it being. I'm used to down being a certain direction. I'm like, I can't do that anymore. Why would you do this to me?
Just begun. We'll be thinking.
Alright, so
Are you guys all set?
We're on the run.
Yeah.
I don't care about what all the others say, but I guess there are some things that
we'll just never go there. Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'm literally just waiting for the next content update for Warframe. I need the war within like now.
I'm just opening my Warframe now just so I can friend you. I have very few friends on Warframe now because I used to just accept friend requests, whatever, but I'm pointless. I'm just gonna keep my close friends and people I'm actually okay with talking to. There's some people that I can't just casually get rid of because I'm like, they're very dramatic, I guess you could say, and I'm just hoping to quietly let go of them, but...
That makes
sense.
We need to like do it together.
The thing is though, my boyfriend is like, how? And then he's like, how do you
I'm insanely shy when it comes to singing.
A hoarder, leave me alone.
Well, you don't have keys anymore.
What chapter are we doing?
He's just like, they turned all into relics, and he's like,
chapter 7, I
in
believe.
your inventory. I'm like, hey.
All right, rein it in, guys. It's like herding cats.
All right, huddle, guys, huddle. Social huddle. Ready to read or no?
Stop with the theme song. Stop with the theme song. Stop with the nerding out. We got this.
I just can't.
All right, are you guys ready? Does everyone know the rules?
This time to start with chapter 7.
Okay.
We're going through up to chapter 10. We're gonna do this.
Oh boy! All right, we got it.
I'm ready.
Get started. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do this.
You ready, Shady?
Shady. I think Shady died. Shady,
Thank you, Tiv.
I'll join in later if I can, guys.
Okay.
Don't worry, Prone.
Gotcha.
Shady.
I'm sorry.
Shady.
Shady, come back.
Wait, who's the real Slim Shady?
Shady lives. My top link.
Well, the real Shady, please.
Precisely.
Shady.
I'm sure she's never heard that before. She can't hear. Maybe disconnect and reconnect. Discord
yeah, sometimes Discord does.
Or can we hear you?
Alright.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Getting in my
Yay.
inner hunk.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, we can finally start.
Let the
All right.
games begin.
All right, September 3rd, 2016.
Are you guys ready? We're leaving in a bit, I think.
Lance is still sleeping.
What?
He's still sleeping. Stayed up all night watching something with Keith.
Oh, that explains why he looks like death.
Yeah, Sharktopus or something.
I don't even want to know.
Sorry. Okay, he's up.
What did you do?
Lance is very ticklish. Very ticklish. And now he's also out for revenge, so I'm gonna run. I'll message you when we get there.
Cool. See you later. And good luck.
Thanks.
Amazing.
Do you want to swap best friends?
What did Hunk do?
I can't divulge exact details because you might use it against me one day, and I can't have that. Just know my revenge will be swift and painful.
Isn't that supposed to be swift and painless?
No comment, Your Honor. So, Sharktopus was fun. Only 80% as terrible as I thought it'd be.
It was amazing and you loved every second of it.
It was decent, and I didn't hate every second of it. Next time I'm choosing the movie, though. I think you'll love Pacific Rim.
I'm offended you don't think I've already watched it before.
Cool. Hope you're ready to watch it again, with added Lance commentary.
I'm looking forward to it. By the way, I'm out with Pitch today, so I might not reply quickly. Also, really low battery.
Yeah, same. Going out with Hunk. Have a good day, babe.
We're not doing this again. Pidge will never let me live it down if she sees.
Schnookums.
My phone's about to die.
Likely story?
It is. I forgot to charge it last night because someone, not naming any names, distracted me and I fell asleep without plugging it in.
Why are you acting like you don't enjoy my company?
Dot.
Once upon a time, that may have hurt me. But now all I have to do is scroll up a bit and see what you really think about me. So, smiley face. Claire? You too. Just a second, my cat's dying. 1 second.
Okay. Okay.
Claire, what did you do to Muffin?
I'm sorry. I just was really silent.
I read Have a Good Day, Lance. I don't know what happened.
Okay, well...
Sorry, I'm back.
I think you cut off.
Okay, I read it. That's why I wasn't sure what was going on.
Yeah, and I was like listening for you, and my cat was dying in the spare bedroom for some reason, so...
No, I did read it, though. I swear. I promise I read it.
Okay, you too.
We're here.
Nice. We're about 15 minutes away.
Cool. We're walking around. Message me when you get here, and we'll make our way back to the entrance.
Awesome. See you in a bit.
By the time they've paid for their tickets, had their hand stamped by a sullen-looking member of staff, and actually stepped across the threshold to enter the fairground, Hunk is beginning to suspect that he and Paige may have overlooked a few tiny details in the planning of this whole thing. A few tiny, almost inconsequential, really. Things like not accounting for the sheer size of the fairground, which stretches across acres of countryside with no immediate end in sight. Or things like the thousands and thousands of people who have all flocked to the fair on the hottest day of the year so far, creating an almost gridlock effect of families and groups of sweaty kids shuffling between rides, games, and burger vans with barely an inch of personal space between them. And as if the size of the place and the number of people squashed within its temporary fences a health hazard, surely, wasn't enough to make Hunk realize that finding Pigeon Keith amongst all this madness might be slightly more difficult than previously assumed. Hunk quickly discovers that there's one more thing they'd neglected to consider, and that is, of course, Lance himself.
We need to think about this strategically.
Lance says seriously, completely oblivious to Hunk's inner turmoil as he stares critically at the blown-up fairground map printed on the notice board in front of him, brows furrowed and lips set into a thoughtful frown.
Spinny rides after lunch are a no-go, obviously.
He pauses for a second or two, glancing over his shoulder to shoot Hunk a look that seems to scream,
You're welcome.
before he turns his attention back to the map. Hunk blanches, already picturing their first hour in the fair spent running between rides with mildly terrifying, if like, the Devastator, or Vortex, and he feels his stomach do a premature little flip and protest.
Or
He says hopefully as he inches a little closer towards Lance.
Or we could just not do the spinny rides at all, maybe?
Lance glances over his shoulder again and shoots him a look that very clearly says,
Hunk, you poor naive soul. If you think I'm not going on every ride in this fair at least 2 times before we leave, then you don't know me as well as you thought you did.
Fine.
Hunk sighs, recognizing the defeat as he watches Lance pluck a handheld version of the map out of the arms of a passing member of staff before eagerly spreading it open in front of himself.
I'm just saying, we don't need to rush. We can take our time and...
He pauses, lips twitching upwards into a soft grin as he feels his phone vibrate in his pocket.
Let's make sure we really see everything.
Duh.
Lance scoffs, waving the map dramatically in front of Hunk's face a few times.
That's the point. I do want to see everything and do everything. At least twice. Maybe 3 times if we're lucky.
No.
Hunk says, shuffling a tiny bit closer to Lance, down to a conspiratorial whisper.
I mean, really see everything. You never know who.
He pauses and nudges Lance twice for good measure.
You never know who might be hanging around.
Are you feeling all right?
Lance asks, looking genuinely concerned as he peers over at
He's not getting to you. Didn't eat anything weird last night? Post-exam stress finally hitting you?
I'm fine.
Hunk snorts, swiping away Lance's hand before he can press it against his forehead, presumably to try and check his temperature.
Just try and take your time, alright?
All in all, Hunk's pretty proud of his not-so-subtle speech to try and get Lance to slow it down a little. But he feels his pride quickly ebbing away when, not even half a second later, Lance is yanking on his arm and dragging him through the crowd, yelling something about a ride named Hurl. What kind of name is that for a ride anyway? Being just around the corner, it becomes painfully clear to him that Lance hasn't heard a word he said. Hunk sighs again, relaxing into Lance's impressively strong grip on him. Note to self, don't come between Lance and his terrifyingly named unfair rides. As he tries not to think about how the day really hasn't gone off to the best start. Wondering if Paige is having slightly better luck than he is, Hunk tugs out his phone from his pocket and groans quietly when he spots a preview of Pidge's message flashing across his screen.
I may have a slight problem.
You and me both, buddy.
Thinking about it, Pidge decides that maybe it's a little impressive that it only takes 20 minutes for them to completely lose all sight of each other amongst the busy crowd. Incredibly annoying, yes, but also still oddly impressive. Mostly because 1 minute they're standing next to each other, quietly grumbling about the busy and noisy crowd that surrounds them from every direction. Then the next minute, Paige finds herself standing alone next to a cotton candy machine, wondering where the hell Keith has managed to disappear off to in the time it took her to literally blink. So yeah, pretty impressive. Annoying, but impressive all the same. Paige pulls her bottom lip between her teeth and chews nervously as she stands on her tiptoes to try and get a better view of the crowd, searching for Keith's familiar frown amongst all the grinning and laughing faces. They've been separated for less than 5 minutes, so in theory, it's not like Keith could have gotten very far, but the crowd moves quickly and Paige knows it's only too likely that he could have been swept up in it and ended up halfway across the fair by now. If 10 years of weekend camping trips with her parents and Matt have taught her anything about coping in emergencies, it's that when you're lost, you're supposed to stay in one spot and wait for someone to circle back and find you. But considering Keith hasn't made his way back to the cotton candy machine yet after being AWOL for 8 minutes and counting, and she's not in any danger of falling into a river being eaten by a bear.
Dad, there aren't any bears out here.
You never know.
Paige decides that maybe venturing a little further into the fair to search for him herself won't be the worst thing she could do right now. She tugs out her phone as she shuffles away from the cotton candy machine. The owner looks like he's about 2 seconds away from worriedly asking her if she needs some help finding her parents, and types in a quick message to Hunk, letting him know that things probably aren't going to go as smoothly as they'd hoped.
Honestly.
She huffs under her breath as she begins to make her way through the crowd, sidestepping frantic-looking parents trying to wrangle their young children together and excited kids shrieking and shouting as they run between rides.
You try to do something nice for someone and they just disappear.
And it doesn't help that Keith's phone is dead, which honestly is just typical. The one day of their entire lives where she needs him to have his phone in working condition and he doesn't even have the decency to charge it overnight. Rude. Just plain rude, Keith. She frowns as she turns the corner, still craning her neck in every direction, looking Keith among the crowd. Maybe this is a sign from the universe that Keith and Lance never meet? Maybe she should just call it a day and spend the rest of the afternoon riding the teacups and hope Keith turns up eventually? He's a resourceful kid. She's pretty sure he'll survive. Probably. She's doing her best to squeeze past a group of kids huddled around a probably rigged fairground game when her phone vibrates. For a second or two, she allows herself the brief delusion that Keith somehow managed to find somewhere to charge his phone, and he's messaging her his location. But Hunk's name quickly flashes across her screen, and she has to accept that maybe things just aren't going to be that simple. Scratch that. Things definitely aren't going to be that simple if Hunk's reply to her own mildly panicked message is things are going to be the very opposite of simple. She groans loudly and stubbornly ignores the strange looks she gets from the people passing her in the crowd. As she punches in a quick reply to Hunk, stuffs her phone back into her pocket, and begins making her way towards the teacups. She knows a sign from the universe when she sees one.
I may have a slight problem.
You and me both, buddy.
I lost Keith. ...
What? Kids? What?
Hunk is acting strangely. And it's not his usual, go ahead.
I don't like spinny rides.
Type of strange, which Lance still doesn't really understand because he's pretty sure it's a proven fact that spinny rides are the best fun fair rides, because that's the kind of strange Lance has become accustomed to over the years. No, he's acting really strange. He can mumble,
I'm fine,
as many times as he likes, but they've been friends, best friends actually, for long enough for Lance to know when something is up, and something is definitely up.
Vortex is about 2 minutes away.
Lance says innocently as they wander through the fair, watching carefully for Hunk's action.
Wanna go see how long the queue is?
Yeah, sure.
Hunk hums absent-mindedly, frowning down at his phone as his thumbs move across the screen at lightning speed.
Sounds great.
If Lance hadn't already suspected that something was up with Hunk, this would have been the final nail in the coffin. Because they've just come off their third spinny ride, and if previous experiences taught him anything, it's that Hunk should be a shade of green to put a traffic light to shame. And the very idea of lining up for yet another
death trap,
Hunk's words while in the queue for hurl, should have him yanking Lance by the collar to drag him off to some other slower, less spinny ride. Preferably one designed for small children.
You want to go on the Vortex?
Lance asks, staring critically at Hunk as he tries to figure out whether his best friend has been abducted by aliens and replaced with a super realistic robot when he wasn't looking.
Even though we've done 3 spinny rides already and you just ate?
Hunk barely spares him a glance, still frowning at his phone as he taps the screen hurriedly.
Yeah, sounds awesome. Let's go.
The abducted by aliens and replaced with a robot theory is starting to seem more and more with each passing second. Maybe Keith is onto something with all his conspiracy theories.
All right, time out.
Lance says loudly, stopping in his tracks to tug Hunk into a standstill.
What's up?
Up.
Hunk looks up from his phone and offers Lance an extremely unconvincing grin.
Nothing's up.
You haven't complained about a ride since we got off the hurl, and that was our first ride.
Hunk rolls his eyes and makes a dismissive noise, like Lance is the one who's acting strange.
Maybe I've just had a change of heart. These rides aren't that bad, really.
The Devastator had 12 loop-de-loops and a corkscrew section, and you didn't scream once!
Which honestly is a little impressive considering Lance was screaming his lungs out by the 5th loop-de-loop. He squints over at Hunk and shuffles a little bit closer.
Who are you? What have you done with Hunk?
Stop being melodramatic.
Hunk laughs, but it's not his usual laugh. The laugh that makes Lance's lip twitch upwards involuntarily because it's that infectious. It's a forced laugh, and it does nothing to hide the lingering worry Lance can see hiding in his eye.
I'm fine.
Lance purses his lips into a thin line.
You're not.
I am.
Hunk says stubbornly, snapping his fingers and making a gun sound, except it doesn't really sound like a gun. But that's not an argument Lance is willing to get into again.
Honestly, I'm fine. I just...
Lance raises a brow.
You just...
Hunk bites his bottom lip and purposely avoids Lance's gaze.
Maybe I am feeling a little queasy.
Lance crosses his arms over his chest and frowns.
You sure? That's it? Nothing else is wrong?
Yeah, just that the last ride took a lot out of me.
Hunk's phone vibrates in his hands, and Lance watches as he slides it open and begins texting rapidly again.
Queasy my ass. Who are you texting?
Lance asks carefully, inching a little closer towards him to try and read his screen. Hunk easily dodges out of the way, turning around slightly so the screen is covered by glare from the sun.
Oh.
Lance's grin turns sly as he tries, and fails, to snatch the phone out of Hunk's hands.
Is it a girl?
He rolls his tongue on the word.
What? Claire?
No, I was saying you say girl again.
Oh, girl. Sorry. I heard a beep and I thought you left and I got scared.
Oh, no, I'm still here. And laughs when Hunk predictably turns red.
What's your name? The one you were talking to outside of the geography book the other day? Jana, Sharon?
Shay.
Hunk helpfully supplies, desperately trying to fight down his sudden blush.
Her name's Shay.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Lance grins over at Hunk.
Shay. Is that who you've been texting all day?
He pauses, a sudden thought springing to his mind.
Is she here?
Hunk frowns.
What?
Shay, is she here? Like,
Lance gestures to the crowd.
is she here somewhere and you want to go meet her? And do, I don't know, cliche romantic stuff like ride the Ferris wheel or win her a giant toy or something?
Yeah.
Hunk starts nodding enthusiastically. Maybe a little too enthusiastically, but hey, who is Lance Judge?
That is exactly what's going on right now. 100%. Damn it, Lance, you got me.
Well, you weren't being very subtle.
Hunk laughs, and Lance is happy to see that it's his real laugh this time. The kind of laugh that has Lance grinning too, and shakes his head at him.
Oh, wait. I'll just keep that in mind for next time, so...
He pauses to scratch at the back of his neck nervously.
So, you don't mind if I disappear for a bit? Just a bit? I just want to go say hi and, check if she's alright.
Lance frowns.
Why wouldn't she be alright?
It's a big fair. She might be overwhelmed.
Hunk says slowly, though it comes out sounding more like a question than anything.
You never know.
Uh-huh.
Lance hums. He can't get rid of the niggling feeling that Hunk is still hiding something from him, but he knows when to leave something alone. Hunk will tell him in his own time.
It's fine. Go be romantic.
It's not like that.
Yeah, whatever.
Lance shoves Hunk gently to in the sides, shooing him away.
Just go, man. I'm gonna take a break from these rides and try some of the games.
Lance.
Hunk says seriously, gaze flitting over to the road. All bursting with giant stuffed toys is practically impossible to get prizes.
You know those are all rigged, right?
Ah.
Lance says with a smirk, already walking backwards towards a shooting game booth he saw a few minutes ago.
Maybe to the untrained hand, but for an expert like me, piece of cake.
You're going to lose all your money.
Your faith in me is so touching.
They're going to bleed you dry.
What's that?
Lance says, pretending to cup his hand over his ears.
I can't hear you. Did you say, good luck, my dearest best friend? Maybe try and win me a toy while you're at it?
I said the opposite of that.
Nope, I don't think so. You definitely said what I heard.
Lance shrugs.
come find me when you're done with Shay. But don't take too long. There's a skydrop ride I really want to try.
Hunk groans as he swivels around, turning in the opposite direction Lance is going.
This is you getting revenge for this morning, isn't it?
Hunk, I'd never be that cruel.
Lance laughs, offering Hunk a brief wave as he turns on his heels and begins making a beeline for the shooting game booth.
Good luck with everything!
He hears Hunk mumble something that sounds like...
It's not like that.
But by the time he turns around, he's disappeared into the crowd, and Lance is alone.
Alright, McLean.
Lance mumbles to himself as he approaches the booth and locks eyes with a shady-looking guy who's running it.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Where are you now?
Teacups.
Still?
It's a very relaxing ride.
Right. Lance is about to lose all his money playing one of those games.
The very obviously rigged ones. ...
He says he's an expert. Anyway, I'll come and sit with you for a bit.
What? Hunk? No. It's fine. Keith will eventually walk past the teacups and I'll grab him then.
But you're alone and lost.
I'm not lost. Keith was lost. I'm having the time of my life on the teacups. Also, I'm thinking about investing in one of those baby leash things for the next time we go out.
I don't think Keith will agree to wearing one of those.
It's for his own good. He'll get used to it. But seriously, you don't have to come away from me. We should probably accept Operation Oblivious is a dud.
Pidge, we're friends, right? I'm not gonna let you wait on your own for maybe hours when we're literally in the same place. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah, I need a break from the rides anyway. Lance made me ride Pearl twice. Twice. Think that's his revenge for the whole tickling thing this morning.
How cruel.
I know, right? Okay, I'm coming to the teacups. Start waving or something so I can see you.
Well, Keith thinks as he doubles back on himself for what has to be the umpteenth time this past hour. This is terrible. His mother is going to kill him. His father is going to kill him. Pidge's parents are going to kill him. Matt is going to kill him. Cheryl's going to be disappointed in him. Basically, there's no way that this is going to have a happy ending for him. He's lost Paige. His phone is dead. The crowd is too noisy and oddly sticky. It's really hot, and the smell of burgers and hot dogs simmering in grease mixed with the sickly sweet stench of cotton candy is starting to get to him. So yeah, not his best day out. Definitely on par with that one trip to Costco when he was 9, which ended with him sitting in the pet food aisle for 20 minutes waiting for Shiro to come and find him. He's not even entirely sure how it happened. One moment Paige was by his side, quietly muttering something about the size of the crowd and the amount of small children with sticky hands and faces running around. And the next thing he knows, he's being pushed and shoved by a group of overzealous kids trying to get to a ride, and Paige is nowhere to be seen. He's not panicking yet, because it has only been an hour or so and he knows Paige is smart enough to stay safe and out of trouble. But he can't help that irritating feeling of worry that's beginning to creep up on him. The fair is bigger and busier than they'd expected, and that he hasn't found Paige already isn't doing much help to quell his unease about their predicament. He scowls as he turns another corner and realizes he's at yet another dead end, with no Paige in sight, his irritation mounting with each passing second. He doesn't want to be here, navigating a noisy and boisterous crowd without Paige by his side to make things that slightest bit more bearable. He wants to be at home in his shed, working on his bike and maybe reading silly messages from Lance while he does it. The thought of Lance has him pausing in his tracks, fingers brushing against the sides of his phone in his pocket. He's never really given much thought to how seamlessly Lance has squeezed himself into his life, slotting himself neatly between Paige and Shiro like he's always belonged there. It's become second nature for him to have his phone lighting up at all hours of the day to see Lance's name flashing across the screen, and it hasn't really hit him how off he feels without his phone vibrating periodically throughout the day. It's not an unpleasant feeling exactly, but it's not one he's used to. All right, he mumbles to himself as he does a quick U-turn and begins making his way back through the crowd in the opposite direction, eyes still searching for any sign of Paige among the crowd. New plan. Because clearly wandering around aimlessly and squinting at any person with brown hair and glasses who just happens to be around Pidge's height isn't going to work, he decides. He'll make his way back to the entrance and hope the fair has some sort of announcement system in place for lost kids. Maybe something like, Will Paige Holt please make her way to the entrance before her neighbor has an aneurysm? Thank you. Or if all else fails and he can't find Paige, he could always just run away to live in an abandoned shack in the desert. It's always good to have a backup plan.
Thanks for waiting for me.
Seriously, Paige, don't worry about it. Sorry, I couldn't wait longer. I'm still slightly worried about Lance. May have spent his life savings on one of those games.
Have you found him yet?
Not yet, but he can't. Not yet, but he can't have gone far. Those games are really, really addictive, and he is very, very competitive. Found Keith yet?
Nope. Gonna give it another 20 minutes and then just wait by the entrance. This really didn't go like we planned, did it?
Not at all. Not gonna lie. I don't think matchmaking is our right career path for both of us.
Yeah, I might have to stick with astrophysics.
Ugh, how boring.
Right? Just plain dull. I think I see Keith. Yep, it's him. Why is he walking so fast? Ugh. I'm gonna have to run after him, aren't I?
Nice. I think I see Lance as well. Yep, that's him. He's waving a giant stuffed lion in the air.
He actually won one?
Oh my god. I can't believe this.
Another go.
Listen, kid.
The man behind the booth stares at him warily.
Maybe enough is enough.
Another go.
Lance insists, shaking his wallet wildly in front of his face.
I can do it.
You've been saying that for the last 40 minutes.
And I can do it.
Lance sniffs stubbornly, opening his wallet to fish out a $5 and slam it on the counter.
So take my money already and let me do it.
For a moment or two, Lance is sure he's going to refuse. But the man only hesitates briefly before sighing and sliding the note across the counter.
This is your last turn.
Yeah.
Lance mumbles, snatching the plastic pellet gun up once again.
One more turn is all I need.
It's a fairly simple fairground game. Shoot at least 3 of the 5 targets, only use pellets or less, and win one of the ridiculously oversized stuffed lions hanging overhead. It's the kind of game years of spending hours after school hanging out in dusty old arcades has prepared Lance for, so by all rights, he shouldn't be losing so pathetically. And yet, here he is, losing, unable to knock down the last target no matter how hard he hits it. A small, logical voice in the back of his mind tells him that the game is almost definitely rigged and that he should just cut his losses and accept the consolation prize the owner of the booth has been trying to push on him for the last 20 minutes. But his pride, and maybe a little bit of ego, won't let him back down. And besides, Hunk still hasn't returned from whatever he's doing with Shay. Lance makes a mental note to discuss that in greater detail when they get back later. So it's not like he's in any real rush. Though the owner of the booth does look like he's serious about this being Lance's last turn, which is probably a good thing because Lance is suddenly painfully aware that his wallet feels noticeably lighter than it did not even an hour ago.
Come on, kid.
Lance resists the urge to stick his tongue out at him and turns his attention to the target board in front of him. He's done this enough times to know which are the 2 easiest targets to shoot down and knocks them both down in quick succession, lips curving upwards when the owner's eyes widen in surprise.
Alright, you got 2 to go, 3 petals left, 1 target. Think you can do it?
Lance scowls, narrowing his eyes as he pulls the trigger and watches as the pellet shoots out of the gun, hits the target square in the middle before pinging backwards and dropping to the floor while the target barely moves even a fraction.
It's rigged.
Lance snaps, glaring at the owner of the booth.
I hit it. You saw me hit it.
The guy shrugs.
I don't see anything, kid. But hey, you still got 2 more shots left. Maybe this time you'll get lucky.
Jerk.
Lance thinks, turning his attention back to the targets. Maybe if he hits one of them twice really, really quickly, it'll be enough to make it fall down, and he frowns, head snapping upright almost painfully, brows furrowing in the middle as he scans the crowd around him. He can't be sure, of course, but he thinks he just caught sight of something, of someone in his periphery that looks oddly familiar. Someone that looks like Keith. His stomach clenches in anticipation as he takes a step away from the booth, eyes rapidly scanning the crowd for any hint of the side profile he'd just seen bobbing and weaving between people.
Keith!
He feels his heart leap into his throat as he hears someone call out the name and takes another step towards the crowd. This can't be a coincidence, can it? He's here somewhere amongst the crowd, just inches away from him. And all Lance has to do is call it his name and...
Oi, kid.
The owner of the booth tugs him backwards, scowling at him.
I forgot all day. Either take the shots or you go.
But...
Lance glances back towards the crowd, trying to pick out anyone that looks even vaguely familiar, while he listens out for that voice again, hoping it'll call out Keith's name again.
You got 30 seconds.
Lance exhales a breath in frustration, scanning the crowd one last time before he gives up and turns attention back to the game. Thinking about it, it's not like Keith is an uncommon name. There are probably hundreds of Keiths running around the fair right now, and he didn't really get a good look at the person that had caught his attention.
Just wishful thinking.
He mumbles to himself, unable to completely squash the feeling of disappointment that's begun to well up inside him.
10 seconds, kid.
Yeah, I heard you.
Lance sighs, holding the gun up to the target once again. This time he squeezes twice in quick succession and watches as both pellets hit the target hard, forcing it to fall backwards and clatter noisily to the floor. He turns to the owner of the booth and allows the biggest shit-eating grin he can muster up to spread across his face before he points up at the giant blue lion stuffed toy hanging above his head.
That one, please.
All in all, Keith thinks he might just be the worst. Thinks this might be the worst. All in all, Keith thinks this might just be the worst day of his entire life, and he's had pretty few bad days. The feeling of worry at the pit of his stomach has blossomed into full-blown panic, and there's nothing he can do about it. It's been more than 2 hours since he last saw Paige, and the crowd is finally beginning to thin out. Though, aside from being able to walk 2 steps without colliding with someone, the reduction in the number of people around him really isn't doing him much good. He chews the inside of his cheek as he stares around the fairground, looking for any sign of Paige amongst the madness. He doesn't understand how he's managed to see random strangers several times throughout the day, but he hasn't seen Paige once. Idly, he wonders if this is the universe's way of punishing him for some heinous crime he's unknowingly committed. Maybe for secret feeding Muffin his Brussels sprouts at dinner and then feigning ignorance when she spat them up over the living room rug 2 hours later, or maybe it's for that one time Keith freezes on the spot, eyes wide as his gaze zeroes in on someone who looks vaguely familiar. It's not Paige. It looks like Lance? Keith frowns as he takes a step forward. Obviously, he can't tell for sure from this distance, but there's something about the person standing a few meters away from that just oozes familiarity. Keith can spot a head of messy brown hair, and even from this far away from each other, he can see his lips stretch into an easygoing grin, tinged with just a hint of irritation, as he argues with a man standing behind one of those gaming booths. Another step forwards. Keith watches as the person who may or may not be Lance snatches a plastic gun from the owner of the booth and quickly presses the trigger, sending a flurry of pellets at the targets placed opposite. For a second, Keith thinks he's actually succeeded and won the game, but then maybe Lance is yelling something at the booth owner, arms flailing dramatically in the air, and he realizes he's lost. Takes another step forwards. He's starting to come into view a little better now. Keith still can't make out his features properly to do a positive ID and confirm that maybe Lance is actually Lance, but can't help the feeling of hope slowly bubbling inside him. Maybe Lance is still waving his arms around, poking and prodding the counter before diving into his pocket and taking out what looks like a wallet. Keith inches forward a little more, just a little closer, and he'll be able to confirm if it's Lance or not, and... Keith jerks away from the maybe Lance like he's been electrocuted and feels relief. Paige pushing her way through the crowd.
Why do you walk so fast? God.
Paige mumbles as she approaches him, sighing as she wraps her arm around him tightly.
I've been looking for you all day.
She murmurs, gently guiding him in the opposite direction of maybe Lance. I've been looking for you as well, Keith says, poking Paige gently on the forehead as they begin making their way through the crowd together. Where'd you even go?
What are you looking at?
Paige asks, frowning a little as she glances behind them, trying to see whatever it is that caught Keith's attention. Keith allows his gaze to linger on maybe Lance for a second longer, shakes his head and turns back to Paige. Nothing. Just wishful thinking.
Alright, I'm with Keith. been restored. I think we're gonna grab something to eat and then leave, though.
Ah, nice. I'm with Lance too. Yeah, same. Lance wants to go on one last ride, and we're gonna make our way back, I think. Maybe you should, wow. Make sure you two get home safe.
You too.
What are you gonna name it?
Hunk asks curiously, poking the head of the giant blue lion in Lance gently as station.
I still can't believe you actually won it. By the way, are you sure you didn't cheat?
Lance hums, hoisting the lion a little higher into his arms as they pass through the turnstiles.
He needs an awesome name to reflect the awesomeness of his owner.
Hunk snorts.
Of course.
And I didn't cheat.
Lance sniffs, pretending to be offended by Hunk's insinuation.
The game was rigged, and I bested it because I'm awesome. That's all. Anyway.
He shoots Hunk a sly look and pokes him in the side with his free elbow.
How was Shay?
Hunk blinks once, or twice, looking genuinely confused.
Huh?
Don't play coy with me.
Lance laughs as they turn a corner and begin climbing the stairs toward the platform for their train.
Give me all the juicy gossip.
Hunk cocks his head to the side.
What? Was Jay? Come on, man. Oh, wait, that's you.
Was Shay? Come on, man.
Lance whines, bopping Hunk at the head of his lion.
Don't make me fight for the info. I told you about Keith, like, straight away.
Hunk quirks a brow.
Almost straight away.
Lance mends.
The train's coming in 5 minutes, by the way.
He adds, glancing up at the notice board in front of them.
So, tell me, what'd you two do?
I don't really know. Oh.
Hunk laughs, and Lance gets the distinct feeling that he's missing very important here.
She was fine.
Uh-huh.
Lance says slowly.
And that's all I get? She was fine? Nothing else?
Nothing else to say, man.
Hunk says with a shrug, lips still twitching like he's just been told the funniest joke.
We hung out for a bit, and then I came back to find you. That's it.
Yeah? And why don't I believe you?
Hunk feigns a look of hurt, pressing his hands over his chest like Lance has physically wounded him.
Would I lie to you?
Lance stares at him a few seconds before he shakes his head.
I guess not.
Lance mumbles, dragging his attention away from Hunk, glance up and down at the rest of the train platform.
Why didn't she come back with us?
Eh?
Lance sighs, still looking up and down the platform, looking for Shay's face amongst the crowd of people packed onto it.
How come she didn't come back on the train with us?
Oh.
Hunk pauses.
She had something to do with her friends, I think. I didn't ask.
Hunk.
Lance sighs sympathetically.
You gotta take chances like that, you know? Be all like, Shay. Oh, Shay, why didn't you come back with us? Next thing you know, you're canoodling.
Canoodling?
Hunk snorts.
Oh, sorry. Canoodling.
Lance repeats, a little firmer this time.
You could have been canoodling on the train home together and...
For the second time in less than an hour, Lance feels his heart leap into his throat.
Hunk.
Yeah, man?
Keith.
Are you...
Hunk squints down at him, looking vaguely concerned.
Are you saying random words now? Are you having a stroke?
No.
Lance grabs onto Hunk's sleeve with his free hand and tugs tightly before nodding towards the stairs.
I mean, it's Keith.
Holy shit.
Hunk murmurs, and Lance can't help but whimper in agreement. Because this time, Lance can tell for sure that Keith is standing opposite him. He's leaning against a pillar, arms crossed tightly over his chest as he listens to whatever a small girl standing next to him, Paige, Lance thinks, is talking about.
I'm gonna faint.
Lance mumbles, leaning into Hunk a little.
He's right there. And and he looks really, really good.
Lance thinks to himself, maybe better than he looks in the selfies? It's at that moment Keith decides to laugh at something Paige, at least Lance is pretty sure it's Paige, has said, and Lance melts. Lance is very, very happy to note that Keith has one of those special smiles that lights up his whole face, crinkling his nose slightly as he ducks his head and tries to cover his mouth with a hand.
Yeah.
Lance sighs.
I'm gonna faint.
Please don't.
Hunk says, but Lance isn't listening. Pidge is staring at him and head cocked to the side, eyes wide like she recognizes him. Lance watches as her brows furrow slightly before a flash of recognition spasms across her face, and she's suddenly tugging at Keith's sleeve and...
Oh god.
Keith is staring at him. Keith is staring at him. They're staring at each other.
Oh god.
Lance whimpers as he watches Keith's eyes widen, slack open, and what Lance can only imagine is the same shock mixed with pleasant surprise Lance is currently feeling.
I have to go.
What?
Hunk yelps.
What do we mean you have to go?
I have to go over there.
Lance gestures wildly towards Keith and Pidge's platform.
Go and say something and see
Not only is Lance's voice drowned out by the train that comes hurtling into their platform, but it completely obstructs his view of Keith. Lance groans as he tries to peek through the flashes of window as the train pulls into the platform, trying to get a glimpse of Keith again.
I'll be right back.
Lance.
Hunk groans in exasperation, effortlessly reaching out to tug Lance backwards by his collar.
A train is here. You know the train we need to get back. Wait. You know the train we need to get back on? Get on right now?
Wait, Hunk,
Lance.
Hunk groans, tugging Lance towards the nearest carriage door.
We have to go.
No, but
The doors ping open and Hunk is shoving Lance through them, mumbling something about getting back to too late, and they get another detention before Lance can protest any longer. Which is just plain rude, if you ask Lance, because here he is, going through a mini crisis and finally getting to see the person he's been crushing on for the last month in person. And Hunk is more concerned about getting a detention than his happiness? Rude.
could have caught the next train.
Lance grumbles, hurrying through the aisle to try and get one last glimpse out of the window before the train pulls out of the station.
Next train is in an hour.
We could have waited.
We'd get back to school at like midnight.
I'm still not seeing a problem there.
Lance.
I'm lovesick.
Lance sniffs, throwing his stuff lying into an empty seat next to it himself.
Leave me be.
You're not lovesick.
Hunk snorts as he slides into the empty seat opposite.
You're unlucky. Really unlucky.
As my best friend, you're supposed to be comforting me.
Lance mutters, kicking Hunk lightly in the shins.
Not making me feel worse.
You're acting like you'll never see him again.
Hunk shrugs.
He probably lives closer than you think. He probably lives closer than you think. Just, I don't know, message him and ask him if he wants to meet up.
You, Hunk, my dearest friend,
Lance says as he fishes his phone out of his pocket.
are a genius. Have I ever told you that before?
I think you might have mentioned it once or twice.
Hunk laughs, watching as Lance begins messaging Keith, fingers flying across the screen at almost inhuman speeds with copious overuse of the caps lock button.
Keith, was that you? Tell me that was you, and I wasn't making eyes at some random stranger. Keith! Keith! Oh my god, charge your phone. What the hell, man? That was you. I'm like 95% that was you. I just saw you. We just saw each other. I need to lie down. Hunk said I need to stop being so melodramatic because I'm scaring other passengers, but like, that was you! Hurry up and get home and charge your phone. I'm literally dying here. Well, not literally, but you get the gist. Holy shit. That was you.
I'm home, sorry. That was me, and that was you. You were holding a giant stuffed lion. We were in the same place. We were at the same fair.
We could have met today. I'm screaming. We could have met, and we didn't. You know what's wild? I thought I saw you at the fair, but I wasn't sure. But I was sure it was just like wishful thinking or something. But it was probably you. We probably walked right past each other. Also, like, wow, your pictures don't do you justice at all. Yeah, wow.
Same for you. Pitch said I got really red, and she hasn't stopped laughing. She sent me a voice note after we got 30 seconds of her.
I'm just lying here thinking about how we could have met today. Like, we must live pretty close to each other.
Yeah, pretty close.
Can I say something? And you don't have to answer right away or anything. Like, I just want to put it out there.
Go for it.
I really want to meet you. Like, I know it's pretty obvious, and I've said this before, but I mean, now that I know we don't live millions of miles apart from each other, it just seems more real, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, I want to meet you soon. We could just, like, hang out or whatever. Because knowing you're literally a train ride away is just really, really unbelievable. Like, we could have met ages ago, just accidentally. How about we passed each other on the street? What if we have mutual friends? But yeah, like I said, you don't have to answer right away. I just wanted you to know.
I want to meet you too. You could come and see the kittens?
Wow, first date and you're inviting me to your house? What kind of boy do you think I am, Keith?
I didn't mean it like that.
I'm kidding. Please don't blow a fuse. At least not before we meet. But yeah, could I really?
Yeah, if you want. I owe you a bike ride as well, so...
That would probably be the best first date I've ever had. I mean, I haven't had that many to compare it to, but yeah, definitely be up there.
Cool. Sounds like a plan.
When, though?
I'm busy the coming weekend for Pidge's birthday stuff, but I can do this Saturday after.
The 17th? That's ages away!
It's 2 weeks.
Ages!
You'll live.
Fine. 17th sounds good. I should probably finish your gloves by then, as well.
You don't have to do that.
Too late. Also, do you like roses?
If you get me flowers, I'm not letting you into my house.
I told you, I'm going to pull out all the stops on our date. Prepare to be amazed.
I'm already regretting everything.
Liar. I'm really excited. Nervous as hell, but excited?
Yeah, same.
Alright, change of topic before we both, like, combust. I'm taller than you.
You're not?
I definitely am. I could tell earlier.
We were on completely opposite platforms. How could you tell?
I told you, I've got excellent vision.
You're not taller than me.
I mean, I am. But if you're not ready to accept it, that's fine.
I'm canceling our date.
Canceling because you don't want proof that I'm taller than you? I see. You, of course, don't see it because you're so short, but that's fine. I don't mind it being the eyes in this relationship.
Canceled.
I've even reached for things on the top shelf. I'll even reach for things on the top shelf if you're nice to me.
Even if you are taller than me, at the most it'd be like 1 inch. That's barely anything!
That sounds that sounds like something a short person would say.
Why do I like you?
You have a thing for tall guys, clearly.
Bye!
Bye, shorty.
I think I preferred the pet names.
Apple of my eye. My sun and stars.
Maybe not.
So, Operation Oblivious, access or no?
We really didn't do anything, did we?
In a roundabout way, I think we did. They met each other, didn't they?
They saw each other as we were all leaving from opposite sides of a train platform. I don't think that counts.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but it's a thought that counts, right?
Definitely. Thanks again for coming to sit with me earlier. I was maybe a little nervous waiting on my own for Keith to show up. Maybe.
It's fine, Pidge. That's what friends are for. We're still on our mentoring session next week, right? Feel bad that we skipped this week.
Yep. See you on Thursday?
See you then.
I'm dying! I can't believe it.
Told you guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Ron.
I can read now if you'd like me to.
I'm so warm.
You sound very tired.
Man, it's really easy to play excited Lance because I'm like squealing.
You are like that 24/7.
Dude,
What
just
chapter
imagine.
was that?
Oh my god, you guys are gonna freak in the last chapter then.
Oh man, the last
no.
chapter. All right,
Oh,
all right.
How long did that take for one chapter?
It doesn't
man,
really
that
take
was
long. We were just taking a while to get started.
Let me see.
So, am I reading anything?
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
Oh,
What do you
sure.
wanna do?
You guys
I would
want
like
to share
be a
Hunk
part still.
I'm pretty sure someone has more than one role, like they have a double role.
Yeah, Prone
I
has
think a couple
Shiro
people.
and Hunk, so whichever
So,
one
I'll
you
be
guys.
one.
I mean, do you want to narrate the last chapter, Prom?
Can do that. But we
I'm
still
asking.
got
I mean, you can totally do one of the characters too. I'm just asking if you want
still
to,
got 3
because I know you
chapters
enjoy
to read.
narration.
Prime,
and I
which one do you want to do?
don't want to take that away from you.
Shiro, Hunk.
I'll take Hunk if that's okay.
All right, Flub gets to be dad.
Oh, I'm so disappointed.
Alrighty, are we ready? Do you guys need a
No,
break?
wait.
Do some stretches.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna
Me
eat
Yeah, I
too.
need to
something.
go use the bathroom and brush my
No
teeth.
breaks.
Well, if
Pause time.
everyone's gonna go take a break, I'm whipping out the guitar.
Do it, girl.
I
Serenade
can't
us.
get to my marimba.
Serenade. I don't know if I can play this late at night and not get in trouble, honestly. But we'll see.
I don't know if anybody can hear me through the wall, but whatever.
I can hear a little bit.
Who dat?
It's a Kentucky Fried Bitch. I'll be right back.
Precious door. Normally, I really like. Swear.
Sorry, that was Shady. You there? Are you
Hang
there?
on,
Still
I'll be back.
recording? I guess not. Welcome back. Hello. Heck yeah! I forgot how to play that. Hello. Yes, it is. Yeah. That's. Oh my god. That was long.
Y'all read slow.
I'm back.
No, we're putting effort into it. Yeah.
Wait,
Yes,
what?
there was.
She
What
got
happened?
it. Got it.
I'm back. but
Freaking cool
fine.
people who got recorded.
Yeah.
Are we
I'm
gonna record? Are you
I
guys
did
gonna record the
horrible
next one too?
though.
Nah, man, you did awesome.
Are you guys gonna record the next one too?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
lovely.
It's so funny because like once we do the next one, it's like Hunk's voice changed.
It's like we
Get
got
puberty.
someone else.
Yeah.
Oh no, what happened? You suddenly hit puberty.
We should probably like disclaim Hunk finally hit puberty. His balls dropped deep.
Oh my god. Someone messaged me with something other than Facebook. My old
Emma.
friend.
Hey,
It's like-
I take offense to that.
I take offense to that. I
I
have
still
friends.
use Facebook.
I promise. Well, for clubs.
Oh,
Gay disasters, freaking talk to your heart contents, man. Do it.
speak to
But
us.
but I don't want to annoy with the sewing machine.
Hush, child. Just speak. We can't
I mean,
hear it
is
anyway.
it kind of redundant
Well,
that
I-
we say shush and then tell her to speak?
I haven't turned it back on yet.
Shh, it's not.
Me-
That's not the point.
Let me know if it's loud though.
Oh dang. It
It's
is
not
a
that
sewing
bad.
machine. It's not that bad.
Which
That's
is
not
the reason why I've been muted all night.
Ah.
Huh? Well, thank you for being
Really?
considerate about it.
Da-da-da.
I'm not
I
gonna
got
I'm
the
not gonna like
song.
drown out the amazing reading.
Aww.
But yeah,
Are you enjoying the reading?
I am
Yeah.
very much
How's
so,
the
thank
audience
you.
doing?
Great.
Audience need a break?
Audience, it's
Yeah,
the
I have
intermission.
pizza.
Go get your popcorn. Oh, I have popcorn.
We still got 3 more chapters to go. We could read one more chapter before they get intermission. We're not
Dude,
even
3 more
halfway through.
chapters, it'll be 1 o'clock by then. Oh my god.
Who cares, YOLO?
I have to finish this today. I gotta.
It's just
You can do it.
My favorite thing is that we read it that one night and we're like, okay, next time it updates, we'll read all of it. And then it
yeah.
updated literally later that night or
I
the
can't
next
believe
day.
Like,
how good timing we are.
It's just like, every time we read a pick update.
Also, the last chapter is really long. I mean, it took
So-
me a
so
while
guys-
to read.
Just said so every time we read a fic update. So now we need to read every day.
Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
you're right.
So which fix do you guys want updated? On the nice?
Blueprints.
Blueprints?
I want
Blueprints would be
blueprints.
good.
You know
TikTok.
Hello.
Hello.
I want to go for far left and go for one that hasn't updated in like forever.
Yes.
Red and blue. Let's see.
Oh, our powers will know no end.
I want.
I want cactus to be updated.
Cactus?
I want dirty
Yeah,
laundry
man.
to be
I haven't
updated.
read that one.
Aw.
Oh, it's another flower.
Oh yeah, dirty laundry. Jeez, that's gonna be the day.
If
Oh,
I never
man.
see your face
Well,
again.
What are we
she's
talking
not
about?
continuing that.
Dirty laundry?
Yeah, she's not continuing that though,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's an
yeah.
actual impossible one.
Oh wait.
Aw.
Yeah. Guys,
Mm.
you should really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just want to know what was going to happen.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Like at this point, did they get together?
Yeah.
Of course
they-
it's like
They
class.
probably would have ended up together.
She should just try a really, like, bad, tragic ending.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
no.
I'm pretty sure.
Just
if
like
they-
both die in a car crash, dead.
Guys, I'm pretty sure if they weren't going to end that, it would probably hit me just as hard as Smile did.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm supposed to be crying, but I'm laughing. I'm
Oh
so.
yeah. What is it?
Pro, did you
But
like the
yeah.
songs I sent you?
Hmm?
I put them in the Cool Cat Radio.
Oh,
You
I
guys
didn't.
should read the cactus fic and
The
like
cactus
Lance.
is so cute.
I know it's so good.
What?
Lance doesn't have a leg, like one
What?
leg, so he's like
He has a
man.
prosthetic leg.
yeah,
Oh.
man,
What is
it's
this?
awesome. It's great.
What fic is this?
Cactus. It's
It's
really
a
called Cactus. It's a florist AU.
For
Yeah,
some
but this
reason,
time,
I was.
Lance is the florist, and it's
Wait,
the
wait.
best.
Wait, can you put this in FicRex or somewhere?
Yeah, man, I will get it up for you right now.
For
FicRex
some
or voice
reason,
chat?
when you said
That's what he said.
cactus, I immediately thought of plants.
I know. I
will
was waiting
get
for
it up
someone to
you.
mention it.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, plants.
Will forever
That's what,
please.
that's what Keith said.
I should. God damn it,
Oh, that was weird.
Or
I can't find
what
it.
Lance said.
I have it.
There you
Also,
go.
let me know when you guys are gonna start again, so I can mute again.
Okay, no.
Alrighty.